Every major troop in Super Archer Clone Hydra got a new level at Town Hall 16. On top of this, we have the new hero equipment, the Rage Gem, that takes this army to the next level. If you thought Super Archer Clone Hydra was strong at Town Hall 15, wait till you see it at Town Hall 16. How do you deploy it? You go Dragons, Balloons, Warden with the Rage Gem, which is OP, Dragon Rider's Blimp. Then we pop that Warden ability nice and early. Make sure we get the Blimp in it. We freeze one of these sweepers. That's why you bring the freeze in this army comp to ensure the Blimp gets through the base. Whilst this is all happening, we're worried about the funnel on either side. Heroes one side, Baby Drag and Rocket Loons the other. And look at the Blimp, gets right in the core of the base. We make sure all the goblins and wall breakers are out of the way before we put the clone spell down. We don't want to clone them by accident. And now we've cloned the maximum number of super archers, and look at the Rage Gem. It's so helpful with this army. You have no spells for your Hydra, so the Rage Gem kind of does that perfectly. All these dragons getting the 50% rage here. Super archers are in the core of the base, and they have survived. That doesn't happen too often, but they've literally cleared out the entire base. I mean, there's nothing left on this base. The Super Archers got a new level at Town Hall 16. Dragons, Dragon Riders, and Balloons got a new level at Town Hall 16. And with the Rage Gem, you can make a case that the Warden kind of got a new level at Town Hall 16 because it transforms this army. Makes it so much stronger, and you see that Royal Champion there. Yeah, we're not going to be needing the Royal Champion for this attack. Now, the only real tough thing about this army, aside from making sure that you get your deployment right on the spells with your Blimp, as we deal with the defensive king here, is to figure out which angle you're coming from. Now, on this base, I picked the angle that we came from there because the Blimp kind of only had to face one sweeper at a time. Yes, there was two of them that shot, but I could freeze one, and then by the time it was unfrozen, the other sweeper wouldn't get a shot. But if you have bases where both sweepers are side by side facing the back end of the base, then generally you want to come from one of the corners. So on this base, it would have been 12 o'clock or 9 o'clock. But look at that Swag Queen ability. Not going to be needing those rocket balloons or the Royal Champion either. Let's move on to a diamond base here. We see both sweepers aren't facing the exact same direction, so we're going to fly straight into one of them. I use the rocket balloons to get rid of the air defense. That's why they're in this army comp. Now, rocket balloons aren't necessary. If you don't want to activate the super troop, you could just bring in 8th dragon if you'd like. But I like the rocket balloons because with the baby drag, they do a great job. Now, in this hit, I deploy the warden before the loons. This is probably better. So dragons, warden, balloons, dragon rider, blimp, pop the warden. Notice I mess up this freeze here. But the Blimp's still going to make it to the core of the base. We see the Gauntlet being used with the King. That is by far the best hero equipment for the King. Make sure you farm up the Cookie event live in game at the moment. Now look at this. We get stuck in a NATO here. And that's a problem because we're going to clone up a few super wall breakers and a few gobs. That's why in the first hit, I told you to try and delay your clone as much as possible. Essentially, just wait until you're sure that your filler troops in the Blimp have died. Now, some of you might say, Hooked, I'd rather bring just 4 super archers in the Blimp. That is so risky. It is so risky. If you want to do that, be my guest. But I couldn't recommend it myself. The Rage is so nice for when you haven't got too many troops left, but see what's about to happen here. So I pop the Queen ability. We are bringing the Healer Puppet. Now, I'm aware most of us in-game at the stage of the recording this have not leveled up the Healer Puppet because it's not the strongest hero equipment. And if that's the case, fair enough, just bring the Archer Puppet. But I want to show you the benefit of the Healer Puppet here and the Rage Gem. I'm getting a free Queen charge here. These are raged up healers on the Queen, and she's not going to die because of it. So you can see definitely the benefit of the Rage Gem, which is obvious enough already, but also the Healer Puppet with this. But like I said, most of us haven't leveled up the Healer Puppet at this stage in time, and if you're one of those people, don't worry. You can definitely triple this with the Archer Puppet. And the same goes for the Royal Champion. I'm bringing the Fox with her in today's video. The Diggy works almost just as well. And another thing I'm going to say about this video, all the hero equipment you're seeing is level 15. So it's not max for Town Hall 16, but it is pretty high level, particularly on the new equipments. Final attack of the video here, and we're going to deal with the ring base. Now, ring bases, you do a little different. You start with a Warden Blimp to the core. Why don't you send your Hydra with the Blimp? Because you've seen with the other hits, the Super Archer Clone Blimp kind of takes out one half of the base, whilst the Dragons are on the other. But if you do it on the ring base, the Dragons will be taking DPS from the defenses that are targeting our Hydra anyway, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense. All of it's happening far too close together. So 9 times out of 10 on a ring base, it's best to start with a Warden Blimp. If you don't need to use the Warden for the Blimp, fair enough, but I needed to here. Start with the Warden Blimp and finish with the Hydra. So the Blimp comes out here. We had to pop it exactly where it was, otherwise those poison towers would have had a look. And now we let these super archers go to work. Notice I'm invising all these ice golems because I can't afford my super archers to target them, because that freeze is so powerful. Last invis here, just trying to time it as well as possible because I know I'm barely going to get the town hall down here, but it does just go down. And look at that, that is a huge section of the base that is gone. Now it's all about setting up the rest of the attack. So I'm going to pull the ice golems because I feel I've got a bit of time on this one. Would rather my heroes deal with the ice golems, and that's the wall break for my king and queen later on. So the archer is in this comp. Notice I didn't bring the 2 archers in the first 2 attacks in this video. I recommend it. I dropped a minion and brought the 2 archers because if you run into a titan or a triple ice golem CC and you need to pull it out of the way of your super archer clone blimp, then you need the archers to do that. So yeah, this army comp you see in this attack is the best. It's essentially just drop 1 minion for the 2 archers. Now my warden has lived, which was a little lucky. I'm pretty sure I would have tripled this anyway, but it definitely helped. Ring bases are not the best style of base I've found for the Hydra. Obviously, the Super Archer Clone Blimp gets a lot of value, but the Hydra doesn't necessarily, which is why you need your heroes and your Super Archer Clone Blimp to get insane value. At this point, I'm trying to figure out where to send my RC, because my heroes have not done a good job funneling, and the Monolith is being a problem here. Poison Tower goes off as well, but thankfully, the new level Dragon Riders come in clutch. Queen's still got her health. Now, I send the RC down here. I didn't want to, because you never want to send your RC straight into a ricochet cannon, because whether it's the Fox or the Diggy, both of them get wrecked by it. So I popped the RC ability early there, because I don't want to risk losing the Fox, and thankfully, that ricochet cannon was already weakened. And there you go. We popped the Queen ability, but as you can see, yeah, it's nice having the healers, but wouldn't have made the difference in this attack. And that is it for today's video. This attack strategy, in my opinion, is the easiest attack strategy in the game. In terms of attack strategies that are going to consistently 3-star, this attack strategy is not only powerful, but it's quite simply unstoppable.